And we are live. Welcome to the Angel and Tina Morning Show. It is Tuesday. Are you guys excited? I am one co-host behind because Angel has Angel's doing a family day today, a much needed family day. So we just want to give our prayers to her. She has been in Florida for the last couple of months actually, and she literally has not spent any time with her family because she has been working her butt off, helping all of us best-selling authors hit bestseller. So congratulations, Angel. She's able to spend a whole day with her. But I have a very awesome co-host today. Staci Hall's in the house.
Hey, how are you? I'm so excited to be here. This is like the funnest place on the block. So thank you for inviting me.
It's where all the cool kids hang out. You should
for sure.
More often.
Anytime, hit me up. I'm always here for you.
So when I texted Staci, she's like, "Oh my God, yes." I was like, "Oh my gosh," because you always want to have somebody with a lot of energy and fun and full of life. And we were like going down. We were like, "Who should we get? Who should we get?" And I was like, "Oh, Staci." And your name like popped up. So I was scrolling through Facebook, and you were doing some like crazy like thing. I was like,
yeah,
she's it.
You never know what's going to fall out of my mouth, but that's good, right?
Yeah, we just got to put a filter on and then beep, 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 beep. I might have to beep the whole entire time, but she's good. She's good. She's good to go. Staci, tell us a little bit, tell us our viewers a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, why you're here. All that
My name is Staci Hall, as you mentioned, and I am a network marketing leader and online marketing leader in the space. And I've been in the profession for about 6 years. And I currently lead a global team that spans 8 countries. I do a lot of coaching and training, and I'm also a speaker. So I'm a mom. I have 2 beautiful kids. You may hear them putzing around behind me because we're homeschooling right now as well. And I live just outside of Toronto, Canada. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh, you are Toronto, Canada. So
Canadian.
Are you in Eastern time? What time zone are you in?
Eastern, yeah, Eastern Standard.
Eastern, so you're in the same one with me. I always put in there Eastern, and I put in all caps because so many people, the whole time thing gets to them. Does it get to you?
I'm not too bad, but I find that a lot of people, if they don't speak Eastern Standard Time, I get really confused.
Yeah,
so.
same. Don't mind the person in the background.
Yeah, no, my children are going to mill around because they're schooling at home right now. And so I am not say hello. You're just
on live television.
You're just on live TV. Do you mind?
A couple of thousands of millions of viewers. So it's okay. She's like, oh.
This is mompreneur real life right here.
And we have to see that too, right? Because all of us are the same way. And welcome to the studio audience, our virtual studio audience. And all that whole thing, I still can't say it. I was learning how to spell
Feinsteinn.
Feinsteinn. And I was like, it was like a 5-minute tutorial.
We have to get you a little earpiece so we can just speak into it, and that'll make it easier.
It's all good. It's all good.
And Ann, where are you coming from?
I'm actually in New Jersey. It's a beautiful day here. It's sunny. We're really lucky because we can have weeks of overcast, and today it is beautiful. It's sunny, and I am so delighted to be here with both of you.
I'm so excited. Her and I had the best conversation a couple of weeks ago. I was actually driving down to Atlanta for my birthday party. And her and I had a conversation, and we were amazed by all the things.
A lot of mutual friends, which is really cool. You've got a lot of friends, and I've been in this space now for, I would say, more than your combined experiences. I was saying, I was on the other day. I was on with 2 gals. One was in her 30s, one was in her 40s, and I said, and I'm older, so I have about 30 years of experience in the networking space, and like Staci, building globally and having an absolute blast, because what could be better or safer, more fun than building the way we're building right now, you know, working on social media, working on magnetic marketing, and of course, you know, zooming all over the place.
Right.
So when you're talking about time zones, I'm always thinking, you know, I have split screens. I'm sure you're feeling the same way.
Yes.
Yeah.
What time is it in Paris? What time is it in
That
Rome?
I could do the United States. I'm like, okay, you're in Pacific time, you're 3 hours prior. Okay, then it goes Mountain Central, no, Central Mountain. And then I'm like, and so I always get confused with those two. And then I'm like, okay, I'm Eastern, so I'm 3 hours ahead. But then you start throwing in like Australia and London. I'm like,
it's crazy. And it's exactly that. And I have a huge team in Australia, and I'm constantly going, okay, wait a second. So it's this many hours plus 2, like it gets so confusing. And then when you have in that part, and then if you go to Adelaide, it's different. And then you got to deal with, you know, the UK is different. And yeah, totally.
Like, what part of Australia are you from?
Who, me?
No, like when
them.
Asking, like,
yeah.
Yes.
Where are
You have to. It's huge, right? There's different time zones. Yeah, it's crazy.
So speaking of social media, I did a thing this morning. You guys are gonna die. So this new thing, Clubhouse. Have you guys jumped on?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like one of those ones who are like, no, I cannot add another thing. Like Taylor, Brandy, they're all. When are you gonna get on Clubhouse? When are you gonna get? Have you got an invite? Have you got an invite? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. No, you totally need to do it. So this morning I got on Clubhouse.
I'm gonna stalk you on Clubhouse like as soon as I'm done here. That's it.
I am on Clubhouse. However, Tina Torres was taken, probably by you know who in Texas, the porn star in Texas. There is a Tina Torres, and there is a Tina Torres in Texas who is a porn star. It is not me.
Does she look like you?
As you can tell, she's Asian, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
So one of my friend's husband, while I was down in Atlanta, he was like, oh, so if I Google Tina Torres, all of your, you know, glamorous life will do. I said, I wouldn't Google Tina Torres. And he was like, why? I said, because there's a porn star, Tina Torres. And so of course.
You jumped on that.
So of course.
Yeah.
That doesn't even look like me.
You know, Ann, he was Googling Tina Torres and then going to the image tab. That's what he was doing.
Where are the videos? God. I was like, no, but if you Google the gratitude specialist, that's where I am.
That's beautiful.
However, I couldn't put gratitude specialist in there either because you can only have 15 characters. So then I had to go Tina M. Torres. I had to put my little middle name in there. So I am officially on Clubhouse. So go find me, follow me, whatever it is.
Awesome.
Friend like me, whatever it is that they do on Clubhouse. And then the person who invited me, we ended up going into a room. And so I'm like listening to her. She's in the sauna and I'm listening to her and I'm going, where's that noise coming from? I wasn't even in it. Like I put my phone down and I looked at my phone. There's nothing on my phone. And I'm like, and she calls me, she goes, did you mean to put us in a room? I'm like, oh.
Yeah, if you walk someone in, it does that.
And she was like, no, I can just hear you. I was like, oh, thank God, because I'm sitting in my bed with my hair in a ponytail. I was like, Jesus, oh my God, I got to be careful with this. Because you know how like on FaceTime, you accidentally hit the FaceTime video. And
have you done that? I have.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was actually getting my nails done. And it was during the, I guess, the summertime pandemic, and I'm getting my nails done, and I'm just about ready to pay for, no makeup on. That was the other thing. No makeup on, hair, you know, just whatever, with a mask on. So I look like a bandit, and I'm getting up to the desk to pay for it, and my phone blows up. Okay, and I have no idea why my phone's blowing up, and I'm paying for it and talking to the lady, and then somebody calls me and says, "You're live on Facebook." Now, the craziest thing is, you know, of course, then he goes into the panic of, you know, trying to find it and do a thing like this, and then I turn it off. Okay, and as just before I turn it off, I look at him thinking, why are these people watching this? There were hundreds of people watching this scenario. And I'm saying we are that desperate, okay, to watch something. that is live on Facebook. And that's just
Yeah.
a good lesson, ladies, because people are watching all the time.
Anything. And it's things like that that they love to watch. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what,
Totally.
right? Like things
Yeah.
that are off the wall. And
Yeah.
it's so funny. We were doing a Zoom. It was early on in the days. And all these people kept coming on. And I was one of the moderators in the back. I'm going through all the videos. I'm going, what is that? And it was somebody's poop. And they were putting their makeup on.
No.
And they don't
Their
realize that they're
phone was
live.
like down here.
Oh, no, no,
And I
no,
was like,
no.
I was like, what is that? Like, you can't really tell.
Just
And I was like-
depressed.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like turning their video off very quickly. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yes, just be careful when you're going Facebook Live or any other video, FaceTime, whatever it is, because you never know.
I hope
I'm-
I hope you've all done, courses with your teams on what is proper Zoom etiquette.
We
Because-
Angel and I have done these, make sure that there's, you have a clean background, make sure you don't have like underwear and, your bra hanging on the doorknob, because we've seen that. We're
Yeah.
like, is that a bra hanging?
Yeah, that happened when I was here.
They're like, oh, that happened when you were here.
I thought it was a bra. It totally looked like a bra. It ended up being a backpack, but it really looked like
Right?
a bra. So you have to pay attention.
Well, also, do not change your clothes, okay, in the middle of a Zoom, because people can actually see you, even though you're not speaking. Those little
Oh my
tiles at the
gosh.
top,
Yeah.
okay, people are going like this. And of course, every one of us has a story that is just insane of somebody not realizing.
Was this you, Ann, who did this?
Are you speaking from experience or just, anecdotally?
No, but I have, once I realized, hey, you know what? These cameras can be dangerous.
Right? And
I
there's this little thing on the bottom here that says stop video. That is all you have to do.
Right. If you can see your own face, so can they. That's the
And
lesson
they
here.
can see everything.
Yeah. I've never done anything like that. Knock on wood, God help me. But I did give people a tour of my purse once because it turned itself on and they were just like jostling around my purse for a bit, but nothing tragic, thankfully, because there are some circumstances where, where you have that moment where you literally feel like you're going to be sick because you think that you press the live button and you're in a really not good situation to be live and you get that terror like, oh my gosh, like that's happened to me a million times. But thankfully, coming out of the shower and I've got like the towel and I'm dripping, and that's happened to me a few times because I'm listening to messages. I'm multitasking, right?
Well, and that
You
was
gotta be careful.
that is something else that somebody else said, and it wasn't anything that had to do with Angel or I or on the show, but somebody said that they were on a corporate Zoom call and that the lady had the thing on her ear and they could see that she had this on, and then she went to the bathroom and she put it over here and literally went to the bathroom and everybody's seen her. And I was like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Like, this is something you're never going to get over.
Yeah, you can't unsee that either. Like every time you see that person after that, that's all you're going to think about is I saw you on the can.
I can't unsee that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
All right. And so Ann, tell our audience members a little bit about you, who you are, how 30 years you said?
Yes.
Over 30 years. What have you been doing for the last 30 years? Start by, well, I was born. No.
It's like I think the easiest way to explain the process of how we make decisions and we make career changes along the way, and that is, the evolving. We evolve. We all evolve.
Mm-hmm.
None of us woke up one day or were born saying, hey, I want to be a network marketer. Just things happen. And I started out doing what my parents said, get a good education and you'll get a good job and you'll feel secure. And I don't know about you, but that didn't exactly play out that way. Even with going to school, I became a high school English and theater teacher, and I loved it until the vice principal of the school came into my classroom where the kids were acting out Shakespearean things in the 10th grade tech school group, which was not an easy group to carouse around Shakespeare. And he says, you know, your blinds aren't at regulation levels. Now, I just spent the summer in an NYU program on my dime, learning how to teach theater and education to get kids like this excited about literature and so forth. And I thought to myself, well,
if that's what you have to complain about, really?
yeah, that's what we're going to talk about here today. So the transition was, I saw people getting into business. And I said, you know, I want to make a transition into business. And one of the things I was able to take were my teaching skills and moved into consulting. And I was able to move into a corporate consulting position with a Park Avenue consulting company and eventually became director of research. And I stayed there for years and worked with some very high-powered former executives who were looking for high-level executives in various, you know, consumer packaged goods. High tech was my specialty. And that was an amazing experience because that gave, it took the polish, you know, put the polish on. And then one day, as I was married to my husband, we've been married and together for over 40 years. So I'm a long-term player. I like long-term. I stay with things. So I'm watching him, and he's a business manager for people in the entertainment industry. And he's worked with some of the biggest bands of the 90s, ladies. Okay, name a band that you can think of, like Led Zeppelin, Bad Company, Michael Bolton, Lou Gramm. I mean, he was working with all these big name band people, and he had his own business, and we were in Manhattan. And I said, you know what? I want my own business. But I also saw the issues that came up for him, okay, which is employees, headaches, and big time expense. Monthly expenses that you had to take care of everybody else and deal with all the employee headaches, not to mention crazy, crazy, crazy music industry clients. So we had a lot of fun doing that, though, because we flew all over the world, you know, together. And at the same time, I looked at network marketing and I said, this is what I want to do, because I can take all my skill sets and I can build something while I'm transitioning. You know, it wasn't a matter of giving up one to do another. I could transition. And so that became the method that I moved into having my own business. And it was the most exciting, you know, transition. My husband was very supportive, which I'm very lucky. I was supportive and helped him get his business going in the music industry and the entertainment industry, helping him do some marketing things early on. And then he said to me, honey, go make money, do whatever you want to do.
I love it.
You know, and so, you know, I went out there early on when, you know, business was done before Facebook.
It was before social media where we
Or social media. Okay. And I was probably one of the few women that jumped on airplanes, like going to Israel a week after a war. And my mother saying to me, didn't they just have a war there? And, you know, I was so naive and so excited about what I was building.
No, but I'm going over there to build a business.
Mom,
yeah, it's over now. What's the problem?
Last week.
Last week, Mom.
Last
No,
week.
that was last week. I'm gonna, you know, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going over there, and you know, the security levels and all those things that I came upon. But you know what? It was exciting, and there were people that wanted to build something, and we took network marketing to Israel and created a whole new cottage industry for people and gave people an opportunity to build financial security for their families. Because I'm big on the idea of creating financial security. Because one of my mentors early on, ladies, said to me, Ann, you know, he sat me down. He was one of the most incredible men I'd ever worked with in the consulting environment. He owned his own consulting business within our consulting business. And I loved the way he worked his business. And he did it was like a network marketing idea, because he had me and he had a few other people working with him. And he said to me, the only security you'll ever have in your life is what you create for yourself. That was it. And I looked at him and I thought, that's it. I got to create this for myself. And my husband was, like I said, very supportive. And I looked at my husband, who was very successful, and I said, this is going to be our retirement. Okay, this is what we're going to build to have a retirement when we get to the age where we don't want to work anymore. You know, we want to be able to enjoy our life as we get older. So The interesting thing is, I spent the first 18 years with a company, built a business into 13 countries before the internet, before, all the craziness that we have today. But I was jumping on airplanes, going to Israel, going to Europe, going here, going there, all over the place. And I loved it. Okay, because here's a little girl from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, who never got on an airplane before college, seriously, because we just couldn't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm flying all over the world, and I had a little Maltese with me, so I became known as the woman with the little white dog in Israel. I mean, I would get through security like you wouldn't believe, because they'd all go nuts over the dog.
That's what I have. Right?
That's awesome.
Teacup Maltese.
A little 3-pound Maltese, and he'd pop out of his bag, scare the crap out of this very stern security person. And I go, before you
dogs always make everybody just
yeah.
Turn this person from a staring into me, go, and you have 4 of them come running over, and I'd be right through security.
So Ann, after, with your whole 30 years of experience, what is one thing that you would tell yourself back then that you know now? What is one thing that you wish you would have known back then that you just kind of learned now?
I learned a lot about recently, in the last couple of years, about social media. And I think that, this has given me a whole new set of tools. It's given me a whole new avenue for making connections and friends. It's through that I met the gal that introduced me to you, Tina, okay? Brandy Shaver, who's becoming a very close friend and a business partner of mine now. But we met through social media. And,
so you guys never met like in person either?
Oh, we've met in person.
Oh, you have? Okay. So I've known Brandy for a couple of months now, and her and I,
she's marvelous. She's the one. I mean, she's like a little sister to me now.
Yes.
And what's interesting,
if met in person, you and I would be best friends.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what happened is that I decided, even as a top leader with a very large international organization, because by that point I had a business in 40 countries, but I knew that I wanted to learn more about social media and to be more capable of giving other resources and tools to my team. So I went looking for a coach, but I didn't want a coach who was going to be talking to me up here. I wanted a coach that was going to be talking to me in a relevant way for my profession. And that's how we came across, that's how we met. And ultimately, then I became her coach for network marketing and leadership and duplication and so forth. Today, we're working together. She's now part of our team. And the cool thing is that this is what happens when you open yourself up, because a lot of people that are in the profession, the length of time that I've been in, have not opened themselves up to new skill sets. Have not opened themselves
true.
Up.
Yeah, I found that to be true.
Yeah. And Staci, I'm telling you, my team is really rocking right now, okay, with a combination of both, because you've got to be, this is the thing I'm coming to, Tina, long answer is a short question. A combination of passive and active, okay, business development. Passive meaning that you're building a following, you're building your credit, okay, online, and people are watching. I'm telling you, people are watching. They're watching crazy stuff.
Seeing if you take off your bra on live TV,
Yeah. No.
It's also, it's your business card.
Yeah.
People, I mean, I'll tell you that when I meet someone, Tina, okay, and Staci, right after this, I will go look you up too. But it's what we do.
Yeah, I stalked you last night. I did. I stalked you last night. And it's so true what you're saying. Like I teach my team the same thing as what you're saying, that you have to be actively reaching out and making those connections, and marketing on they both go together. Yeah. And social media has totally changed the game. So I'm really curious from your perspective, Ann, because you have so much water under the bridge, such a wealth of knowledge, so much wisdom. How do you see building relationships through social media being different from how you were doing it belly to belly? Like what intrinsically is different for you, or is it more similar than you would have thought it would be?
I think it's actually faster and easier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? I think that in the course of just a couple of days, following someone and truly, honestly treating people
and
like
stalking them.
humans.
And stalking them, of course, yes.
Because
Engaging,
you see like a 5 minutes worth of stalking, and you can, oh my gosh, I just love her, and she has
Yeah.
a cute dog, and I love her branding, and you can totally tell when people are going through your Facebook because they start liking like old pictures, and you're like, where did these
So, like
10 in a row.
like this? Look
Yeah.
how cute.
Aw, hi,
No.
little doggy.
what happened is that when I had to go live, I'm showing you what the story is here. When somebody said to me, you've got to start doing lives. Now I've spoken all over the world and I've spoken in front of, thousands of people. But when I had to sit down in front of this screen and it went 3, 2, 1,
We're like,
Isn't it funny, isn't it? Like you can be on a stage, but it's different than it's almost like intimate when it's on Facebook Live. And you do get that.
Also, you don't know, like, you're like,
well, I think the
like,
biggest thing is
too.
that,
Like,
yeah,
and if you're on stage, you're talking to the audience, and you can get a couple of eye
debate.
contact with some audience members, right?
Right.
And it's got the 3 or 4, like,
You're just looking at the dot like,
So
Yeah.
what happened for me was, it was like I fixed my lipstick 25 times. I sat down. First of all, I was flipping and flawing, the whole night, worrying about this because one of my sponsor had said to me,
then you have
Go
bags
live.
in your eyes because you didn't sleep.
yeah, go live tomorrow in the team chat. I'm going out
And you're like,
town. And then you're going to go do a live training tomorrow night. Okay.
oh
But
my
the preview.
goodness.
Oh, no pressure.
And
Yeah.
ladies, the story. You don't want somebody to see you sweat. So you go, oh, okay. And then
Yeah, no problem. And
sure,
you're like,
no problem.
oh my
No
God.
worries.
Got it.
Yeah.
Take care of it. Don't worry about it. I got it done. Well, then I sat down to just do the preview and I had no saliva in my mouth. I thought,
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you have too
your
much.
teeth
and you're
are
like
like
spitting
over the
everywhere.
top. You can't get them down.
Like,
So I'm sitting in my kitchen, I set it up and my husband is standing there making sure that none of the dogs are making any noise. And he's standing there like this,
You're like,
So
yeah.
I looked down and there was Mimi, who is my other female Yorkie, looking up at me like this, Mommy, you'll do great. You always do great."
Aw.
So I picked her up and I held her into a headlock. And I came on.
you are going to be my saving grace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
I
squirm.
came on, and here there was the little tongue sticking out, right? And she's looking into the camera like this, and I have people going bing, 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 bing. People are coming flashing on. Well, I forgot the thing was here, and I'm talking to her the whole time. So we ended up having a conversation about what I'm planning to do tonight. Do you have anything else you want to add? Okay, fine. See you tonight.
Anne's conversation with her dog tonight at 7.
Right?
I'm sweating like
Right?
I can't even imagine. I'm going, this is not CNN. Okay,
Yeah.
this was not NBC. What am I doing here? I mean,
Yeah.
this is insane. And I laughed so hard after that. And then I realized she's going, Mommy, let me down, please. I can't breathe, because I've now choked her for 5 minutes. But then when I saw the reaction to it, I realized, you know what? Little Shari Lewis. I don't know if you girls are old enough to remember Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop, but I guess that was a
Yeah.
little bit of
Oh,
my
yeah,
childhood.
Yeah. And it's such
coming
a
back.
powerful tool. It's such
It
a
is,
powerful
really
tool for
is.
you.
So babies and dogs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and people-
all you need to do is have a baby or a dog on your Facebook Live and you will do fine. I would suggest probably a dog because babies throw up and do all
Yeah.
types of other stuff that they probably wouldn't want them to do.
Well, then they all
Yeah.
say to me, well, how is it she doesn't make any noise, or she's not, jumping all over the place? She's been trained. She has been trained. You want to hang out with Mommy? Because she does she's always here, always. So she could hear your dog barking and she makes no sound. Okay.
Wow.
Is she behind you?
Right behind me.
I can't even train my kids to do that. I need you to tell me your strategies. Can you send me some tips? I would really appreciate that. That would be
So
awesome.
later today at 2 p.m. Eastern, Ann Feinstein's going to go live with you and show you how to train your dog
And your children. Yes.
and your
I'm all over
children
it.
on how to be
It's-
quiet and not move.
Yeah. It's such a powerful tool. I love this. I love talking to you, Ann, because we're in the same profession and you have seen both sides. When I first started 6 years ago, I was doing it belly to belly as well. Like I was going to coffee shop meetings. I was having meetings in my house. And so, you know, you would be running around cleaning up and trying to get the kids to go in another room and get the dogs downstairs or whatever. And it was just
everybody the day of, are you going to still be here? Are you going to
yeah. Are you bringing the ice? Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Like you had all these strategies to confirm with people, and I was on the phone constantly. There were times I was like in the closet doing 3-way calls because I didn't want them to hear all the noise in the house. And there was so much stress and like anxiety. And a lot of the time I was building my home business, I wasn't even actually home. So there's this weird dichotomy.
Yes.
But I've seen both sides of the equation. And so now when you hear people kind of get scared of social media or complain about it, or, oh, you know, how many people do I have to reach out to or whatever? It's like, is there that part of you that's like, I used to have to get on a plane, sweetheart.
Hello.
Like,
Yeah.
like how do you address that with
easier right now during social media? Because now, so even during this whole pandemic thing, when Angel and I started the Connect Virtual Summit, we are now able to reach so many more people. The people who had young kids or dogs who they couldn't kennel or, you know, couldn't fly, you know, 6 hours across the United States or whatever it is. Now they can just jump on right where they are on their lunch break during, you know, their corporate hours, and they can see what we're talking about and what we're speaking on. And we were able to hit and reach so many more people through this and through the Zoom and through social media, through the technology these days. And I am so grateful for that, because back, like you said, Ann, back in the day, it was so much harder.
Exactly.
So back to Staci's question, you know, what was your question? Like, I'm like, what was your question, Staci?
No, I was just curious about how she handles that just with her own team. Like, do you find that you're still teaching them how to build, you know, offline? Like, how does the breakup work for you? Is it mostly online now for you, or have you just completely committed to that?
Yeah, I mean, we're teaching both, because especially to onboard somebody, we're teaching them how to wake up. Okay, first of all, for a lot of people that haven't done the social media or done it correctly, one of the first things that we're teaching them is, first of all, let's go look at your profile because you may find things there that are not appropriate, you know, and people are going to be looking at that saying, you know, why are they posting about that, or why are they so negative, or why are they so confrontational?
Yes.
Or why are they, you know, everything's a meme.
Especially in the last few weeks.
Oh, yes.
Like,
they don't realize it's their calling card.
Huge coaches out there saying things. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Because either they're going to be on this side or they're going to be on this side. And either, I mean, and some people, they're very, very passionate about this side. And if you're not
believing that you need to know how I feel. Well, you know what? I really don't want to necessarily know that. If you want to go do something in a private group, that's one.
And you're in a business, so you need to make sure that you stay neutral. You know, you need to make sure people, I mean, I understand putting your views out there and people need to know and all that kind of stuff. And I, you know, tell people all the time, I'm a Christian, you know, I believe in Jesus Christ. And I put that out there, but I don't put my beliefs, you know, like my political anything out there. I don't ever watch the news at all. And I'll see things online. I'm like, oh, somebody's like, oh, did you hear what happened? I'm like, no. Like 2 days later.
What do you want to be known as? Okay? And I think that's part and I think for a lot of people, it's like, oh, because you are your brand, you're your calling card. Okay, it's like how people view you when they go onto your page. What are they going to learn about you? Now you have people that, you know, the perfect person. I say, you know, I've looked at the perfect woman, the perfect person, the perfect hair, the perfect this, the perfect that. That's not realistic. Okay, the realistic person is going to show some of the authenticity of, like, you know, Ann Feinsteinn was scared shitless. Hello. When she first did her first live. Also, I am a little Jersey. Okay, I can get a little gangsta.
She's a little salty. That's good.
You know, and you know that does show up a little bit, you know, in my lives, my Zooms, and also with things I'm passionate about. So, you know, if you're looking at what we teach our people is that when you're going on social media, you have to flip it up. You know, you have to change it up. You have to talk about things that are personal. You have to give them some inspiration. You have to talk about things that you love. You have to suggest to them, you know, how you are entrepreneurial, what it is about you that is, what's your business about, okay? But you can't be constantly getting on there and saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, which is something that I had to unteach people.
Yes.
Because this is what they have been taught the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's turned more people off. It's like getting into commission breath, somebody said.
Yeah, exactly. John Milton.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, it's like, and I use this story quite often. My husband and I made a decision one evening that we wanted to downsize and move to a 55 plus, ladies, okay? Because that was the decision that we made.
Not there yet, but you know, pretty close.
Yeah, and you know, and for a lot of reasons, because we had a very large property, and it was overwhelming for my husband, whose back and knee started to bother him. So we said, you know what, let's do it now while we both still have a lot of good energy to get this done, because it's a big thing, 15 years in one house, or actually longer than that. So we're thinking about it. And my mother had been our realtor, and unfortunately, she had passed away years before. And she had bought the houses for all of my family, you know, helped us all. So we're thinking about it and talking about it. The next morning I wake up and there's an email from someone, and I open up this thing, and there's this woman in there saying, so you're looking to sell your house in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Let me give you some information as to what would be useful to you.
Wow.
You know, I'm like this.
How does she know? Yeah.
So, you know, like I'm watching this and I'm like,
Google telling you.
Yeah. It's like, where's that Alexa?
So I send it to my husband. So he gets up in the morning, he has his coffee, and I'm like hysterical laughing to myself. And he goes into his office and I'm going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's a little salty too if he's a New Yorker. And he comes out, where the hell did you find this? So I told him. And I said, so it taught me a lesson that she wasn't sitting there saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. She was teaching value.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. She sold my house. I bought a house through her, and she sold the house of the person who bought my house. Now that was 5 short little 2-minute videos. Value.
Yeah.
It's all about value. So when you're going into provide value, if you're in the skincare, provide value. If you're in health and wellness, I'm in health and wellness, provide value. If you're an entrepreneur, talk about being, you know, mom boss, girl boss, whatever you want to talk about. If you got to show them what you're in love with, what are some of your passions, you know, what are things that are inspirational to you. But if you have means all over the place, don't you have a point of view yourself?
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. We just had this conversation this morning on Clubhouse, Tina. I was training in exactly this topic. You're so on.
Invite me to your
you're so on point. And so what happens, we were talking, you know, so many people, what happens is they come on social media, and I'm sure you've experienced this, Ann, and they're being taught how to market, how to position themselves the way you would offline. And those strategies don't work online. You can't be saying your company name and your product names and having all the before and afters in your profile and all that stuff. You have to have a point of view. You have to provide value. And so I always say, if it's not making someone's life better, easier, or more fun, and they can't absorb that information and get value without buying something, it isn't value. Like, you have to understand that you need to be a problem solver. So I love that you're saying this, because you have been on the other side of the aisle and you have transitioned so beautifully. And so how did you figure that out? Like, did you just have great mentorship, or did you just like trial of hard knocks, or how did you figure that out?
You have to do it. You know, you can sit there. There's so many people that buy courses. They buy this, they buy that, they buy that, buy it. If you don't take one freaking course and go through it, or find the right mentor, or we're teaching it now. So the thing is that this is what we do in our team. We're teaching it in our team. So it's not a matter of having to go outside or having to go here. Okay. You have to, as a leader today, you have to bring that into your place. Otherwise you have shiny object syndrome going on all over the place.
Yes.
So what I found, ladies, is that by teaching it, okay, which I spent a lot of time now teaching it, number one, you have to go to the people you know. The people that I've initially recruited into my business are people that I knew that they knew me, and I had influence. Okay, then when you reach that, as you're doing that, at the same time, you're putting value out there and you're doing the right things on social media so that you're attracting people that are coming back to, and you're doing it consistently, and they come back to, ooh, there's really cool stuff going on over there. Okay, ooh, I like that feel of what that person is saying. I mean, I'm taking selfies today. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah, yeah.
There's all
You
my-
got to.
I'm
You
like
got to.
selfie queen. Okay, and we have somebody who was asking, how are your nails? Are your nails, what did she ask? No, I can't see the comment, but somebody's asking about your nails.
You know, it's so funny because I ended up,
Show us your nails.
these end up being the color.
Oh, are they Mardi Gras nails?
They end up being the colors that I fell in love with were these two colors. And then I came away and I went, oh my gosh, it's the branding of my company. So
I love that.
it was
Mine are too. Mine are kind of like the branding of my company too.
subconscious. Okay.
I'm actually mine's a branding color too. That's so funny. You
Right?
just
My nail girl always ask me, is it pink again? I'm like, yeah, but it's a different shade.
exactly, and it's got sparkle this time.
Pink and white and blush and rose gold obviously are my brand colors.
There you go. Okay. So, you know, if you internalize it, it comes out. You know, I've always been, I still go back to being the English theater teacher. Okay, when somebody, my husband David said,
I cannot picture you this English teacher because I feel like she's gonna be like this bomb teacher.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is my favorite teacher. She lets us do this and she lets us do that.
you know, that being the theater arts teacher was a lot of fun. And my husband said to me, you know, it's really a shame. One day we're having this conversation, David said, it's really a shame you don't do anything in theater anymore. I looked at myself.
I act every single day.
I do it all the time. What are you talking about?
Zoom, every presentation, okay,
Yeah.
every video, now lives. I mean, come on, this is really the fun part is what we're doing today. And so in answering another part of your question is, this has been, you know, an evolving activity, an evolving skill set. I said, if you're not learning something, you know, a lot of people, as I said the other day on a interview, a lot of people my age, you know, are looking and saying, oh, you know, I just want to have the financial resources, the good health, and the time to enjoy my retirement. And I'm thinking to myself, kill me first. Okay. I mean, freaking kill me first, because I
What
love,
about now? What about now?
Yeah.
I love what I do. And today with the elephant that's in the room, I mean, imagine if we weren't doing Zooms the way we are today. Imagine if we weren't connecting on social media.
We
I mean,
would all be going crazy and depressed, never leaving our
Totally.
house, not getting dressed.
Or
Yeah,
at least with the waist up.
yeah. Although I may or may not be wearing pajama bottoms.
Okay, I'm wearing pajama pants too.
That's okay. But
Yeah.
you know, it's
So one of the things that we always like to ask everybody is, what is your word for the year? Do you pick a word for the year? Ann, Stacy, do you guys pick a word for the year to focus on?
Stacy, you first.
yes, I do. My word this year is actually claim. And I haven't heard anyone else use this word, but the reason I chose it is because last year for me was very foundational. I had a lot of growth that needed to take place. I was at a point in my business where I needed to become more in order to earn more. Like, you can't really out earn your personal development. And I felt like I had kind of reached some upper limit issues, let's just say. And I had a lot of growth, and a lot of it was painful and hard, but a lot of it was great too, you know, and I was laying foundations and really building my team. And this year it's about claiming. It's, you know, that boulder is at the top of the mountain and momentum is here. And so I'm going to be pulling people up this year. So I'm really excited about that.
I love that. I love
My
claim.
big word this year is abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, and you know, I use it so often, people laugh about it. Abso-freaking-lutely, like we are gonna make this happen? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is what's going to come down.
I don't know, that would be like the perfect word.
I never heard anyone choose that word ever. I love it.
What is the longest focus word that you have? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Oh, I love it.
Because
That's
you
awesome.
have got to be so abso-freaking-lutely focused, abso-freaking-lutely committed, abso-freaking-lutely aware of where you're going, abso-freaking-lutely assuring other people that we're going to get through this.
Stacy, that's gonna be our new word for today. We're gonna say abso-freaking-lutely a lot.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, I want a t-shirt. You do have a t-shirt with that on it, Anne, because that would be so perfect. Can I ask you a question? Are you on TikTok?
No.
You would so crush on TikTok. I'm just saying, I know you probably need another social media platform, like you need a hole in the head, but you would crush completely on TikTok. You have such a great personality for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's another thing I'm not on yet. I was on TikTok. But however, on Thursday, we have one of TikTok's like top people coming on our show on Thursday.
Oh,
Awesome. Who?
His name is John Collins. So I met him. I don't even know
Right.
how I met him. I've never met him in person. I just think I know him.
Like Shamar Moore.
I don't like Shamar Moore. Well, he's my husband. But
Right. Okay.
so I was going through like Instagram and I seen this guy and I clicked on it and I'm going through the reels. And let me just tell you, you start watching the Instagram reels or TikTok, you go for hours. I'm like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours. And I'm just flipping through and I'm laughing hysterically, like in my bed by myself, laughing at all these TikToks because they're so funny.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sinkhole, but it is, I mean, it's a great business tool though.
It really
It's a great
and seeing like John and
Yeah.
Melton on there and they are just like hilarious.
Yeah.
So I seen this guy on there and he's all about, lifting women up and, all these things. And he has over 4 million followers on TikTok.
wow.
So he's coming on our show on Thursday. His name is John Collins, Jon Collins. So Stacey's gonna have to go stalk him.
I'm writing it down. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, you ladies, you're gonna thank me for this after you see him.
Oh, okay. He's easy on the eyes.
Very easy on the eyes.
Awesome.
Which is always a benefit.
I love how you're always looking out for us to make sure we have some good eye candy.
I'm looking out for you guys. It has no benefits for myself whatsoever.
None at all. Yeah.
All right, and what kind of big things that you have coming up in the next couple of months?
Well, I'm doing a lot of things right now in building a real international activity going on with a couple of really dynamic people. I spent the last year, in a deep evaluation as to what I wanted to do for my last rodeo. Not the next rodeo, ladies, but the last rodeo. And back in about a year ago, I teamed up with an amazing guy, very, very, very dynamic guy, also a 30-year veteran in the profession. And we spent the last year looking for a company that would check off all of our personal non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
And if I tell you, there was a lot of conversations, a lot of discussions, a lot of looking and so forth and so on. And so in the spring, we found the company that we wanted to work with, and we started to work together with the owners of the company and made some really important transitions, brought in some really dynamic consultants, and positioned this company in a major growth fashion. And so what I never imagined, honestly, was to have all the elements converging with what's been happening with the pandemic, with the health aspects and also the financial aspects that people are looking for. And as a result of that, in September, we started our launch. And we launched the United States from Europe because the company is a European-based company. And this European-based company is now expanded all throughout Europe through our activities, as well as into the United States. So I put a team together, and this is what we're now in the process of building out from there in a very aggressive way. And it's been so much fun. It's been rewarding in so many different ways because everyone today is going to bed with two things on their mind. They're praying for a health solution and they're praying for a financial solution.
Yeah.
And when you're able to create something that's giving people a solution to both of those things, it opens people's eyes. And
Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah.
All right, and how do you want our viewers to get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to my Facebook page. It's easy. Facebook.com/Ann Feinsteinn. I do have a business page, but I tend to spend more time on my personal page. And I have a website. Okay, my website is annfeinsteinn.com. Real easy. You can see the spelling here. Feinsteinn, Feinstein. It's
Abso-freaking-lutely. That's gonna be our word for the day.
For real, seriously.
And you say abso-freaking-lutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And so, you can DM me and, I'd be happy to coach you through anything that you're dealing with in terms of your social media transitions. I find that a lot of leaders reach out to me because they really are, faced with this dilemma of, how to incorporate, how to bridge things in the right way. And, my team and I have done an amazing, two amazing things. One is the active recruiting, but also we've created a way to train people to give them an opportunity to be able to take it to their teams. So there's actually, two avenues, and it's been very, very exciting as to what's going on.
I think network marketing is probably one of the best things that has been out there. I've been in it for the last 15 years, and it is abso-freaking-lutely the best thing. And I think everybody should be a part of it, whether you're young, you're old, you're married, you have a job, you don't have a job. I mean,
yeah, especially right now. Come on.
Tax benefits of just having. We've had Courtney Epps on the show a few times, actually. She's a good friend of mine. She lives like down the street from me, so she's amazing. But she tells you that you've got to be brain dead if you
absolutely.
Yeah, seriously.
Absolutely.
It's like you may as well just open your door every day and toss $20 onto the lawn if you don't have a home business. I don't even care if you don't build it. Just have it. You got to have it.
Coming out of corporate America, I mean, and sitting in a cubicle, and like I thought I really made it when I was taken from the cubicle into a little office.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I get to now work the 60, 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well, that's the thing.
First one in, last one out. Whoa.
Right. They'll pay you more, but you're going to work for it. That's the thing, right?
What are you talking about? You don't have 4 days leave. You don't have 4 days.
No.
You can't leave.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that I did ask for a vacation and I was told, well, that's not going to be a good week. So I can tell you with network marketing and being able to create your own business in your own time, work with the people that you love, and you can actually create something that is so far beyond your talent and skills by bringing in people that have other talents and skills and creating something in a global way from your home and be safe. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's insane not
and
to
if
be
we
in this
are
profession.
able to travel, you can travel and go anywhere and still build your business.
Yeah.
All you
100%.
need is your
all
phone
over the world.
Your computer. I mean, you don't even need that. Sometimes you just sign them up right over the phone. You can start your business anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
I have a lot of people on my team that it's saved them during this because their regular job was just, they've been furloughed or they've been put, on half hours or whatever. If they didn't have something to fill that gap, like it's been an absolute lifesaver for a lot of people this past year. So absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
No, we cannot say absolutely today without.
No more. I have to.
All right. Yeah. How can people get a hold of you, Staci?
For me, they can actually reach me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Staci D Hall. I'm Staci with an I, stacihall.com as well. I mean, I'm on all social media platforms with that name. And they can also, if they want, I have a giveaway for them if they would like. Is that good? Is that cool? Yeah, I created an entrepreneur's guide to attracting more sales. And I love that. Ann was talking about that today, is learning how to use your marketing and your profile, your social media profiles to attract people to you so that as you're building relationships overtly, you're learning to attract who you are back to you so you can build a team of like-minded people. And it just frees you up to not have to do as much prospecting, which a lot of people struggle with. So if they would like to grab that, that's at greatnessseeker.com/entrepreneurs guide. It's a mouthful, but greatnessseekers.com/entrepreneurs guide. It's totally free. It's a beast, and I hope you get value from it.
Oh, I'm gonna grab mine. And I'm so glad that you guys were both on. So thank you guys so much. Stacy, thank you for being my co-host today. And
I loved it. It's so fun. Ann's amazing.
We talked about so many things, and I don't know if you guys know, but I just recently launched a book.
Yes.
Beyond Gratitude.
Congratulations.
To attract, connect, and convert more prospects. And it talks all about building the KLT factor, to build those relationships, to connect to them. And it kind of goes through everything: social media, Facebook Lives, how to do it on YouTube, how to do it on text messages, how to do it through emails, how to do it face-to-face, you know, sending cards and gifts and all these things, and how to actually build those relationships. So you guys were just touching, I'm going, oh, you know, you're speaking my language, because it's so important to build those relationships. So if you guys have not got your book yet, you guys can go to beyondgratitudebook.com. You can grab your book. It's only $5 right now on Amazon. It is the #1 best-selling book on Amazon right now.
So smoothly.
Yeah. It's a little more in Canada, but it's worth every penny. I can't wait to read.
Is it more in Canada?
Well, you know, our dollar's not worth as much, but you are worth it. You still should get it.
I love it. I had our producer, Zandra Evans, just texted me yesterday. She goes, I just bought 25 books to send to all my producers. I was like, oh my God, you're a rock star.
That's awesome.
So
I'm so excited for you.
For coming on. I'm Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the Gratitude Specialist. And if you're struggling with attracting the right clients, knowing how to connect to them, or even if you just don't know how to convert them into clients, I have a complimentary guide that I hope you grow your audience organically, online and offline. Connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab that guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We will see you guys tomorrow when Angel will be back in the house. Have a great day, guys. Thank you, Stacy, for co-hosting with me, and Ann for being our fabulous guest today. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.